Greetings, everybody. It's a very subtle dance deep in the brain physiology when someone is locked in and playing well. Very, very subtle. If it wasn't subtle, if you had a zone experience one time, why can't you have it all the time? So this is how subtle it is. Rory on 16 at Pinehurst on Sunday, tied for the lead. He sets up over the ball, and he proceeds to look at the target 7 times before he pulls the trigger. Oh, we're not done, though. He gets to the 18th hole. He's tied for the lead. He looks at the target 9 times before he pulls the trigger. Now, what the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? Let me ask you some questions. 2 questions. 1, are you ever going to forget where the target is? No. Is the target moving? No. Then why are you putting so much attention on something that's not moving and something that you're never going to forget where it is? It's because you're equating focus with execution. The more I focus in on that target, the more practice strokes I take with a chip or with a putt or with any club, the better chance I have of executing. It just doesn't work like this, folks. It does not work like this. Because every time Rory looked at that target, he inputted another set of processes in the brain physiology. When you're behind the ball, before you move into the shot, you've inputted all the processes in the brain physiology that you need to input. You have successfully programmed the computer. Now, if you keep inputting, looking up, you're inputting, then what happens in the transition, the cerebellum, which is going to sink the swing on the way down, you've got so many processes in the brain physiology, it does not know which set to listen to. So the flow of intelligence between the mind and the body starts to shut down. And that's when you can't sink the swing, and that's when you can't control the distance, and that's when you can't find the center of the club face, and that's when your angle of attack is wrong. It's off. Because there's not enough intelligence flowing into the body, because you have inputted too many processes. You are being too careful. You are thinking that the more I focus in on that target, or the more I focus in on all these little practice swings around the green with a chip, the better chance I have of executing. And folks, it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. What does the brain physiology need to experience in the transition when you're changing directions with the club, regardless of what shot you're hitting? It needs silence. The cerebellum is going to sequence the swing on the way down or in the transition. And if it doesn't have that space, and this is in a microsecond, if it doesn't have that space because you have inputted so many processes in the brain physiology, then that's when it's not smooth, it's not fluid, the flow is not there. You don't find the center of the club face with that little 9-iron or wedge or 54 or 58 or 60. And you can't control the speed on the putt as well. So what's the lesson here? The lesson here is you don't have to keep programming that computer. That computer is a genius, and it will accept the first input of processes very nicely. Now, you want to check right before you pull the trigger. You look at who was Rory's playing partner on 16. Cantley. He took one look up, boom, pulled the trigger. Now, Rory's so talented. He's so talented. He can get away with that and still play well. But if he didn't do that, if he was inputting 1 or maximum 2 sets of processes, when he's over that ball, guess what? Out of the 40 last major championships, he probably would have won 5 or 6, maybe 7 or 8. So keep it simple. Respect the brilliance and the intelligence of the brain physiology. Don't overanalyze. Don't over input. Trust your instincts, and you'll be free. And when you're free, two things happen. One, you enjoy the game, and two, your scores go low. Have a great day.